Full body face the day. This is a dynamic range of motion exercise program to get mobility into your whole body once a day through dynamic movement. First exercise is spinal cord breathing. So bring your feet about hip width apart, soften your knees a little bit, put your hands over the base of your pelvic area. Take a big breath in, arching back a little bit. Again, stay comfortably, breathe out, curl forward, curl chin to chest, tailbone to chin. Breathe in. Open up your chest, breathe out. See if you can spread your arms a little bit more and breathe in. There you go. If that's comfortable, take it a bit further. Breathe in, opening up. Breathe out, curling forward. Again, 5 or 6 repetitions. Okay, the next one is swinging your leg forward and backward. So hanging onto the sink for a bit of balance. If you need it, make sure you have enough space behind you. Swing forward and back. The other leg. Again, think about a pendulum. Think about just relaxing any tension in your hip as you do that. Now let's go side to side. So face the sink and bring your foot in and out. Again, think about a pendulum. Think about relaxed movement. The other way. Make sure you have enough space with your counters that you're not going to kick anything. The next one is hip in, up, and out. So we'll do that facing forward to begin with, but then I'll get Brittany to turn so she can get a good movement inwards as well. So you've got the idea. Go ahead and face the sink. In, up, and down. In, across your body, up and down. In, across your body. This is a great external rotator mobilization, particularly for the obturator internus. 5 or 6 repetitions on each side. Resting down on the floor between each swing so that you don't fatigue the muscle. With knee range of motion, you want to kick your bum, kick a soccer ball. Kick your bum, kick a soccer ball. So forward and backward. So that's one option for the knees. The second option for the knees is to do knee circles. So put your hands on your knees and make circles with your knees. 5 or 6 times in one direction, and then 5 or 6 times in the other direction. So you don't have to do both. Choose one, see which feels better for you, or do a different one every time you do it, just for some variety, which is always great as well for your brain and your nervous system. Now we're going to do ankle circles. So you're going to, again, weight bear on one leg and just turn in big circles clockwise. Make it as smooth as you can. And then counterclockwise. Just waking up the ankle joint, moving it in all directions. And then the other foot. If you can't lift your foot up completely, you can just circle your ankle as well with your toes down. That's another great option. And then you can go in the other direction. But if you're able to stand on one leg, then absolutely go ahead and do that. If you're able to do it without holding onto the kitchen sink, work on a bit of balance. It's a 2-for-1 deal. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is circles. So you're just going to make big Elvis hips. So put your hands on your hips and just really make big circles clockwise in one direction. Five or 6 times, and then counterclockwise. And then we're going to do sacral circles. So put a hand on the pubic bone, hand on the sacrum, and you're going to try and make circles with the inner pelvis. You're going to go 5 or 6 times in one direction, and then 5 or 6 times in the opposite direction. We're going to go from a smooth transition from squats at the sink right into flexion, right into extension. So we're going to hold on to the sink, wide legs, drop your bum to the ground. Actually, don't stand so far away from the sink. Come closer and get your bum to the ground if you can. Drop right down, right down, right down, right down. Good. Now come up and go into flexion. So go from, and now go into extension. and go right into a squat again, up into flexion, smoothly into extension. So we're going to do that 5 or 6 times. So down into a squat. Again, you might have a different limit to your squat than Brittany does, and that's just fine. Listen to your limits. So let's go down into that squat first. So squat a little bit, and then come back up, and then go into flexion. One more repetition of maybe a midway squat, kind of a midway squat, and then coming up into flexion, rounding your spine, and then extension. Excellent. Okay, 2 more movements. You're going to face away from the sink as well to give yourself some swinging space, and you're going to move away from the sink so you don't hit your arms, and you're going to rotate your upper body fully in rotation in one direction and then the other. So think about the agitators in a washing machine, on a top-loading washing machine, how the agitator kind of spins around. That's what you're mimicking here. Just getting your upper back moving 5 or 6 times in both directions. Keep it comfortable. And the last movement is neck rotation. So a couple options here. You can put your hands together in reverse prayer behind your back. Again, keep it comfortable. And then in that position, you can make neck circles. You could also just put your hands on the base of your pelvis if that's too much movement for your arms to be comfortable. But get your arms as high up your back as you can. So if you can put them in reverse prayer, that's great. And then you're making neck circles 5 or 6 times in one direction. Again, don't be afraid to go back into extension. If we can get a side view on that for a moment. But it has to be comfortable for you. So if you have pain going back there, then make smaller circles. Again, 5 or 6 times in one direction, and then 5 or 6 times in the opposite direction. So Brittany's demonstrating a smaller circle as well. And go ahead and face the day.